Good morning Year 9 and welcome to today's maths lesson. Here's today's starter for me. Can you work out 23.67 take away 12.2? Can you simplify y squared times y to the power 4? So can you write that as y to the power of one thing? Can you work out 3 to the power of 3 for me? Work out the value of that one. And can you work out 12 times 10 squared? Please pause the video for a couple of minutes and have a go at those questions in your light blue books now. Right, let's go through the answers. We've got 23.67 subtract 12.2. I'm going to put a 0 on the end. 7 take away 0 gives me 7. 6 take away 2 gives me 3 take away 2 gives me 1. 2 take away 1 gives me 1. So the correct answer to the first one was 11.47. For the second question, I asked you to write it as y to the power of something. When I'm multiplying, that means I need to add my powers together. So y squared times y to the power 4 is just y to the power of 2 plus 4, which gives me y to the power of what, Owen? 6, very wise. 3 to the power of 3 just means 3 times 3 times 3, which is what, Lilia? 27, excellent. And 12 times 10 squared is just 12 times 100, as 10 squared is 100, which gives me 1,200. Let's have a look at today's lesson. Here's our lesson destination of today. We're going to be looking at rearranging equations to make something else the subject. Don't worry if this doesn't make sense at the moment, all will become clear. To start us off, I've got a bar which is purple and I've labelled it X. Underneath I've got a shorter bar which is blue, I've labelled it Y, and another shorter bar which is green and I've labelled it Z. Pause the video for a minute. What can you tell me about the length of X in terms of the length of Y and the length of Z? Pause the video, write some stuff down in your light blue books. Okay, hopefully you'll have told me the length of X is equal to the length of Y plus the length of Z, because if I add together the blue and the green, I get the purple. Okay, pause the video for a minute. What can you tell me about the length of Y in terms of X and Z? Pause the video, have a little think. Okay, I can tell you that the length of Y, this little blue bit, is equal to the length of X, the purple bit, take away the green bit, the Z. So Y is equal to X, take away Z. Okay, Year 9, pause the video for a minute or two. What can you tell me about the length of Z, the green bit, in terms of X and Y? Pause the video, write down your answer in your light blue book. Okay, I can tell you that the green bit, the length of Z, is equal to X, the length of the purple bit, take away Y, the length of the blue bit. So Z equals X minus Y. What have I formed? What do we call these kinds of things? X equals Y plus Z, Y equals X take away Z, Z equals X take away Y. Rowan, what do we call those? It begins with E. Equations, exactly, Rowan, brilliant. I've formed 3 equations. I'm going to go through an example and then you're going to do 2 similar examples for me. So pens down, eyes on me. I've given you a bar model similar to what we just went through, and I want you to write as many equations as possible for each of these bars. For example, for the first one, I could say that A the length of the orange bit is equal to k, the length of the yellow bit, plus 4, which is the length of the purple bit, plus L. I could also say that k, the yellow bit, is equal to the orange bit, A, take away the purple bit, take away the darker purple bit, the L. I could also say 4 is equal to A, take away K, take away L. I could also, if I wanted to, look at this bit and say that the yellow bit plus the pink bit, k plus 4, is equal to the orange bit take away the purple bit. Loads of possible equations I could form. Over to you, Year 9, in your light blue books. How many equations can you write for this one? I'm telling you there are 3. And how many equations can you write for this one? I've given you some hints at the bottom. Pause the video for 5 to 10 minutes. How many equations can you write for each of those bar models? Off you go. And here's some possible equations you could have formed. Any of these would work. Please check your answers, see if you got any of these right. Okay, we're now going to look at it the other way. I'm going to give you the equation. I'm going to ask you to write the bar model and then write as many equations as you can using that bar model. For example, I've been told y is equal to x plus 3. I can write that as a bar. I can say that y, this big purple bit, is going to be equal to x, a blue bit, plus 3. So the length of y is equal to x plus 3. I can now use this to write loads of equations. I've already got y is equal to x plus 3, but I could write x is equal to y take away 3. Or I could say the green bit, 3, is equal to y take away x. I've got another example. P is equal to r take away 2. This one's a little bit trickier. This time, if I've got r as my big purple bit and 2 as my green bit, I can say P, the length of the blue bit, is equal to the purple bit take away the green bit. I can then use this bar model to say that r is equal to P plus 2, i.e. the purple bit is equal to the blue bit plus the green bit. Or I could say 2 is equal to the purple bit take away the blue bit. Over to you, Year 9. In your light blue books, can you pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes and have a go at drawing a bar for each of these equations? Okay? The first two are a little bit easier. P equals Q plus 1, M plus P equals 2. The second two are a little bit trickier. Draw a bar model to represent them and then see how many equations you can write for each. Pause the video and complete that now. And hopefully you'll have drawn some bars that look a little bit like this. Here I've got P is equal to Q plus 1, and I've used that to write Q is equal to P minus 1, 1 is equal to P minus Q. In the same way for this one, I've said that 2 is equal to M plus P, and written some equations for that. And in the same way, S is equal to T minus 1, that one was a little bit trickier. And for a really tricky one, 2E is equal to F plus 2. Well done if you got the bar model for that one right. That one was tricky. So, we're going to move on to looking at rearranging formula. And when we rearrange an equation or a formula, what we mean is we're going to write it so that something, for example in this case A, is the subject of the formula. And subject just means the equation looks like A equals something or something equals A. So I've always got A, whatever I want to make the subject, on its own on one side of the equals sign. For example, A is equal to B plus 7. We say A is the subject of the formula because it's hanging out on this side of the equals sign on its own. There's nothing else there. A is the subject. Here's a non-example. Here I've got A plus 2 equals B. A is no longer the subject because there's something else on the side of the equal sign with the A. So A is not the subject here. Let's have a look at another example. B minus 9 equals A. Again, A is just hanging out on this side of the equal sign on its own. It's the subject. Let's have a look at a non-example. Here, I've got a negative 9 on the same side of the equal sign as A, so A is not the subject. Let's have a look at one more example. Here's a really tricky one, but it still works. A is on its own on this side of the equal sign. There's a load of gumph going on the other side of the equal sign, but A is the subject because here it is on its own on this side of the equal sign. Let's have a look at a non-example. Here, A is not the subject because here it's got a B squared next to it and here it's got a 3 in front of it. So it's not on its own on one side of the equal sign, so it's not the subject. Okay, Year 9. Here are some questions. For each one I've asked you, is A the subject? For example here, A is on its own. Yes, it's the subject. Please go through these questions, spend about 10 minutes in your light blue books and tell me for each one, is A the subject? Is it on its own on one side of the equal sign? I've given you some hints as you go along. Please pause the video for 10 to 15 minutes. Have a go at this in your light blue books now, please. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. Okay, finally Year 9, we're going to put it all together. So in your dark blue books or your neat notes, can you write the title Rearranging Formulae, and underneath can you write to make something, e.g. A, the subject of the formula. This means write a formula so it's in the form A equals something, something equals A. Copy this into your neat notes. And when you've got that down, can I see pens down, eyes on me? I'm going to do an example and then there's an example for you to do. Here I've got A plus B equals Y. I've drawn it as our bar model. Y, the long purple bit, is equal to the little blue bit plus the little green bit, A plus B. I want to make A the subject. I want to make it look like A equals something. To do this, I'm going to look at my bar model. A is equal to the purple bit, Y, take away the green bit, B. And now I've made A the subject. It's on its own on that side of the equal sign. Over to you, Year 9, in your neat notes. Have a go at this one for me. I've drawn out the bar model to help you out. Pause the video for a minute or two. Make A the subject. Right, let's go through it. This time, the little blue bit, A, is equal to the long purple bit, Y, take away the length of the green bit, take away 2B. You can also think of this, if you wished, as writing it as subtracting 2B from both sides of your equation, leaving you with just A on this side and Y take away 2B on that side. Don't worry if that completely stumps you, absolutely fine. Draw the bar model. Okay, here's an example for you. Can you make X the subject? On your mini whiteboards or in your light blue books, have a little think, make X the subject for me. Pause the video and have a go at that now. Right, let's go through it. This time as a bar. I know that my top bar is 12. And I know that is equal to X plus 7Y. Let's colour code it. Let's make X blue and 7Y green. So I've drawn my equation like a bar model. And I've said 12, the length of 12, is equal to the length of X plus 7Y. To make X the subject, I say X, the length of blue, is equal to the 12, take away 7Y, the green bit. This length here is equal to 12, take away the green bit. How about now? Pause the video, have a little think, make X the subject. Okay, let's go through it. This one looks exactly the same as the one we just did. 12 is equal to X plus 7Y. I've just put things on opposite sides of the equal sign, but it works in the same way. So X is going to be equal to 12, take away 7Y. Well done if you spotted that. How about now? Pause the video, have a little think, Year 9. Make X the subject. Okay, let's go through it. This one's a bit trickier. This time, I know that 12 plus an extra bit, which is called Z, is equal to the length of X plus 7Y. So I know the length of X is equal to 12 plus Z, this top length, take away the green bit, 7Y. Well done if you got that right. That one was a bit trickier. And how good are you? Have a go at this one for me. Pause the video for a minute, have a little think. Can you make X the subject of this one? Use your answers from the previous one, see if you can work it out. Okay, for this one, you need X is equal to all of this, 12 plus Z over Y, take away 7Y. Well done if you got that right. That was a really tricky one. Over to you, Year 9. In your light blue books, in the same way, please pause the video for 10 minutes. See how far you can get on these. At least try and get through 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Don't worry if you don't get any further. Pause the video for 10 minutes and have a go at these now, please. And these are the answers. Please check your work and see how you did. And finally, Year 9, here was our lesson destination of today. Please pause the video for a couple of minutes and have a go at these exam questions for me. Okay, let's go through the answers. For the first one, I've got P is equal to R plus 3. Let's colour code that. P is equal to R plus 3. This top bit's P. I've got R and I've got 3. So for R to be the subject, so it's on its own on one side of the equals, I know R is equal to the length of the pink bit, take away the length of the blue bit, which is P take away 3. So the correct answer for the first one is this one. And for the second one, to make W the subject, I have W is equal to Z, take away 3. And that's the end of today's lesson. Please head on over to Google Classroom and submit today's exit ticket for me. Thanks very much for listening, Year 9, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.